guys, welcome back to my Fab 5 NFL selections for Week 12. As always, I'm Lee Martin, and I'm going to rebound big time from losing last week with 5 fabulous picks against the spread on Sunday's slate of games. As always, make sure you click the link in the description for my article. And while you're at it, why not give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel? Without further ado, let's make some money. All right, guys, let's go to the nation's capital for our first pick of the week, as we see the Redskins getting 3.5 points at home against the Lions. I know, it's tough to bet Washington because they have been pretty bad this season. But did you take a look at the Lions without Matt Stafford last week? It looks like Stafford will be sidelined again this week. And as you know, there's a world of difference between him and his not-so-capable backup, Jeff Driscoll. On the other hand, Washington's current quarterback rookie Dwayne Haskins will have a much better time of it this week than he did last week against the Jets. He won't be counted upon to throw so often, as the Lions' run defense is porous compared to the #1 run-stop unit of the Jets. That will give him time to find his targets against a weak Detroit secondary. This is a pick-your-poison kind of matchup, but I'll gladly take 3.5 points with the home team against an opponent that looks like they're getting worse week after week. Bet the Redskins plus 3.5 at 5 dimes. Staying in the early afternoon games for our second pick, I will grab the 4 points with a live road dog in the Denver Broncos as they travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. If you look at these two teams, there really isn't that much separating the two. Both have outstanding defenses while their offenses are usually stuck in neutral. Buffalo has a much better record by virtue of the fact that they've played much weaker competition. This line has already moved down from 5.5 to 4 in the early betting, which means the Sharps know a good thing when they see it. But I'm still not budging, even though we're only getting +4 with Denver. I think as we draw closer to game day, the public might drive that number up a bit, because they will be thinking about Buffalo's quarterback Josh Allen and his 3-touchdown passing performance last week without taking a sack for the first time all season. Well, he played the Dolphins, and that's all you need to know. I expect Denver running back Phillip Lindsay will be the game changer in this one, and I will cash Buffalo's 18th ranked run defense. I don't expect much scoring, but wouldn't be surprised if Denver got the upset. Back the Broncos +4 at 5 dimes. All right, let's keep humming along for our third pick, where we see the Giants getting 6 points against the Bears at Soldier Field. Mitchell Trubisky is likely out with a hip pointer, which means Chase Daniels will be starting in his place. Neither quarterback scares me, and the Giants' pass rush should be able to generate some serious pressure against the Chicago offensive line that has regressed quite a bit from last year. This 6-point line looks too tempting not to take the plunge on a live road dog, even one with a 2-8 record like New York. Big Blue looks like they will welcome back wideout Sterling Shepard and tight end Evan Ingram back to their offense, which bodes well for Golden Tate to find some room to roam. But Chicago's pass defense is among the best, which means Saquon Barkley will get plenty of reps and should be able to move the chains against a Bears run-stop unit that hasn't been quite the same since Akeem Hicks got injured. Look, the Bears score an average of 16 points per game at home and could be looking ahead to their Thanksgiving showdown against a divisional rival in Detroit. The Giants keep it close and get the cover. Bet New York +6 at Bovada. Let's take a look at the other team from New York and put our money on the Jets +3 at home against the Raiders. If you watched the Jets the last few weeks, then you know their offense has looked much better, putting up 34 points against the Giants, and then the Redskins last week. While it is true both of these teams are going nowhere fast, the fact is, the Jets won big in both games, while the Raiders struggled their 17-10 victory last week against the worst team in the league, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Raiders' secondary is dinged up, and I expect Sam Darnold to keep his mojo rolling. He will have a big passing day, and this one could be a shootout. But in the end, the Jets will not only get the cover, but upset an Oakland team that has a huge game looming against the Chiefs at Arrowhead next week. All right, guys, our fifth and final Fab 5 selection is always our platinum pick of the week, where we are 4-2 against the spread on the season. Let's take a trip to Cleveland, where I feel like I must be operating in a parallel universe, because I'm actually very high on betting the Browns, laying double digits. But before you roll your eyes, understand that Cleveland is playing the Miami Dolphins, with Fitzmagic poised to turn into Fitztragic, as he always does. Yes, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the journeyman quarterback, always seems to wind up in the starting role at some point in the season. But if history teaches us anything, we know that his on-field wizardry has an expiration date. That date is November 24th, when he travels to Cleveland accompanied by a lousy offense and a defense that might be worse. Miami is 31st in the league in scoring, averaging 13.7 points per game, 28th in rushing, and dead last in passing yards. The defense won't give you any reason to back them here because the Fish are 31st in scoring defense, surrendering 30.7 points per game, 31st in rushing yards allowed, and in the lower third defending the pass. They're a mess, and they're playing a team in the Browns that looked like they might be getting their act together after beating the Steelers 21-7 last week. Nick Chubb should roll over this Miami defensive front, and Baker Mayfield will be launching early and often to OBJ or Jarvis Landry. Of course, the Browns will be without standout Myles Garrett following his suspension last week, but I don't think they'll need him to contain this Dolphins offense. Bet the Browns -10.5 at Bookmaker. Well, that's it for me in Week 12 of the NFL season, and I always appreciate you guys tuning in. And I welcome you to cruise on over to the SBR Picks page, where you can read my Fab 5 article and get opinions on every NFL game from all our handicappers right here at SBR. I'm Lee Martin, and may all your wagers be winners.